Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here with a brief weather update for you at this hour. We're going to begin taking a quick look at our sky cam there in Des Moines, New Mexico. These are where the storms are beginning to fire up in the San de Cristo Mountains. And right now, taking a look at that sky cam, we can see a good old rain curtain right there falling there in the background. Very scenic for right now, but as we head into the overnight hours, they won't be as scenic as they seem. Now, taking a look at our radar, though, we could see some strong storms trying to develop there over Union County, making their way into Cimarron County and even southern portions of Colorado. Those storms just trying to fire up. Right now, they remain sub-severe at this hour. However, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. Central Time and 9 p.m. Mountain Time, depending on where you are. Those are going to be for Dallam. Those are going to be for Dallam, Hartley, Cimarron, and Union counties across the region as of now. That just simply means that the environment is conducive for storms, severe storms rather, to develop. That does not mean one is currently happening. So that just means make sure you're taking some precautions just in case a severe storm does fire up. If something does happen, we'll update you as the night progresses. But let's get straight into the modeling to see what is happening over the next several hours. For right now, the model is beginning to pick up on some storm development, but as the night continues, we can see as we get to 7 o'clock, some additional storms develop across the western portion of the viewing area. But as we head into the overnight hours, around midnight or so, we could see a strong batch of storms, some of which could be severe, making their way through portions of the central Texas panhandle. But as the night progresses, we're not done there. Some strong storms could try to develop over the eastern portion of the Texas panhandle and the Oklahoma panhandle region. So definitely want to make sure that you do have two ways of getting an alert, especially if these storms do turn severe, because a lot of them will happen during the overnight hours. Now, as we go over the next several hours into tomorrow morning, into tomorrow afternoon, we could see additional storm development. Tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk for storms to develop, but they may not be as strong as the ones today, but the atmosphere still has the capability of producing some severe storms tomorrow. Monday, however, or later Sunday night into the early hours on Monday, we could see some additional storm development as well as we try to clear out in time for Monday. We could see a couple of isolated storms develop again on Monday, but the overall general area will be much smaller than the area we're talking about for today. And then as we head into Monday night, we should clear out of those storms. Taking a quick look at our severe outlook for today, much of the panhandle in the region is in a slight risk for severe storms. It's going to be a level 2 out of 5. Now, what does that mean? That means we're watching for ping pong size hail. Those are quite large. In fact, we could see some get even larger than that, especially if we get a really good, strong, severe storm to develop. We can expect gusty winds up to 70 miles an hour. Again, some of these threats are going to be reserved for some of the stronger storms that we do see happen across the region. We do have a low chance of seeing a tornado. While it's not a 0% chance, it is something that we're keeping an eye on. It's not a higher threat for tornado development, but we do just have enough shear in the atmosphere to get a little rotation in some of those storms. So we are going to keep our eye out for any tornadic development should they happen, although the threat is low. Now, flooding is also going to be something we're watching associated with these storms because we do have a medium risk for flash flooding. That's going to be over portions of the central and eastern panhandles, even portions of Texas and Cimarron County do fall under that medium risk for flash flooding. But again, the severe threat doesn't end there because come tomorrow, much of the Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma Panhandles are going to be in a marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 for severe storms. So while the severe threat has backed off by the time we get to tomorrow, we still do have the possibility for severe storms to develop. Now, those storms should be happening a little bit earlier in the day, but again, we'll be tracking that as that happens. In terms of additional rainfall, we've had a lot of rain so far this summer season, and over the next 3 days, the WPC says we can pick up anywhere between a quarter to about another inch and a half of additional rain. Although, if we do get training of storms, I wouldn't be surprised if some areas pick up closer to 2 or 3 inches of rain, especially with rainfall rates happening anywhere between 2 to 3 inches, especially in those stronger cells that do happen. I do want to go over some safety tips with storms that do produce hail. If we do get a strong severe storm that produces some of those bigger sized hails, I'm talking about an inch and a half up to 3 inches is possible with some of that hail. I would recommend finding shelter immediately. Also staying away from windows. And if you are in a car, do not exit the vehicle and protect your face. While it could do damage to vehicle and property, especially with those larger size hailstones, you rather not be whacked by that hailstone. So you just want to make sure that you're taking all the precautions that you can. Now, going over the differences between watches and warnings. A severe thunderstorm watch that I just went over before, that just means the conditions in the atmosphere are favorable for storms to happen. Doesn't mean that a severe storm is happening. That means a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. So for the severe thunderstorm watches, again, conditions in the atmosphere are favorable for severe thunderstorm development. We could also be watching for inch hail in diameter and for 58-mile-an-hour winds. For severe thunderstorm warning, that means a storm in your area is capable of producing an inch in diameter hail or greater, or has 50-mile-an-hour winds or greater associated with that severe thunderstorm warning. So just making sure you know the difference. Again, I can't stress enough that we need two ways of receiving warnings this evening, because if a storm turns severe and it happens overnight, I know many of us put our phones in do not disturb or we silence them. You just want to make sure that you are getting alerts, not only from us here at the station, but also by the National Weather Service and Emergency Management if they do send out any alerts this evening in terms of those storms. Now in terms of the pattern that we can expect over the several days, eventually we can expect these strong storms that have developed based off of a northwest flow due to high pressure to eventually break as the high pressure that's been sitting over the southwest inches closer to the Texas panhandle and centers itself over the region. Now that means not only will we will be shielded by or from any storm development that may happen, those will be pushed further east. But what it does mean is that we can experience some milder, if not hot weather next week. Amarillo has avoided hitting 100 degrees so far this season, but it looks like we may finally break that streak. Taking a look at our 7 day tracker over the next 7 days, you'll notice we can expect severe storms tomorrow, later in the afternoon. Again, Monday, we do have a 20% chance of seeing some storms in the area, but just make sure that you are keeping an eye to the sky, although the threat is lower. As we head into Tuesday, you'll notice temperatures do increase, but as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, we'll be talking about temperatures in the upper 90s, if not in the triple digits, possibly feeling warmer than that as we get into next week. So the conversation shifts from severe storms to extreme heat next week when we start possibly dealing with triple digits. So making sure that you are drinking your water, making sure that you are staying in touch with your neighbors, making sure that you're checking in on our most vulnerable. That's going to be our older folk. That's going to be our younger children. That's going to be pregnant people as well who may be impacted by this heat next week. So these are all the things that we are watching today. Our shows again are going to be at 6 o'clock and 10. We'll update you guys throughout the evening on social media, on YouTube if necessary, and even on TV if something should become a bit more extreme later this evening. So again, make sure you are receiving those alerts this evening if those storms are firing up. And I hope you all are staying safe and staying weather aware out there.